Hey friends, I thought I'd do an impromptu live today. Let me just go live here on Instagram. All right, here we go. So we are at January 24th of 2025. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope the new year is treating you well. I know a lot is happening in everyone's lives, and it's also just that time of year where everyone's setting goals and resolutions and the whole concept of, new year, new me. Um, what I want to say is you don't need to change who you are. You are amazing just the way you are. You are perfect just the way you are. But to strive for a better version, more optimal version, healthier version of you is always a beautiful goal. So, welcome and thank you for joining my live. If you're here and if you're not, thanks for watching the replay. And I would love for you to share this with your friends, because what I'm going to talk about today is a little bit about why do 80% of the New Year's resolutions and goals that are set, why do they fail? 80% of them fail by the time February hits. And this is why I decided to do my February challenge in February, not in January, because in January, the momentum is up, people are excited, they set all these goals, and by February, 80% of them fail. So if you're here with me live, I'd love to hear, did you set a goal? Why do you think most people's goals fail? And I'll tell you from my perspective. And I remember when I was younger, in my 20s, around the time when I was in med school, January, I would always get so pumped out. Like, this is the year, this is the time that I'm going to work out and I'm going to get on a good gym schedule and all the things. And I remember, like, January is always really good, right? Like, you would stay committed for the first few weeks, and then you would get a cold, or I'd have an exam coming up, or life would just happen, and then I'd fall off the tracks, and then it would be really hard to get back on. And that was always the case. So Indian Charlotte, yeah, mine is to skip alcohol. I also added sugar to the list, but failed on the third day. So tell me about that. Like, how come you failed? Like, what happened that you fell off of your goals, right? Like, I love that. I mean, January typically is also a month where they call it dry January. And there's also another theme. It's like veganuary. So people that try to eat more plant-based, people that try to go sober curious for the month. And then, Whole 30. So that's like where you try to avoid all processed foods, processed sugars. So a lot of people do kind of those like themes in January as a kickstart, to try to get on the right track with their health, right? So why do people fail though? Why? So tell me, Charlotte, like, why did you fail on the third day? You didn't even make it to February. You failed on the third day. Why? What happened? Right? I went to a party and was offered some food and couldn't say no. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, we live in a modern society. We live in the modern lifestyle where it is so much easier to be unhealthy than it is to be healthy. Right? Majority of the people out there are not doing the things that they need to do to take care of their health. And so peer pressure comes in. You're at a party, oh, just have a good time, or, it's just one drink, or, start the diet on Monday. Like, these are the things that we hear, right? And most of the time, if you tell them you have a goal or you're trying to be healthier, like, people will shame you. It's hard, honestly. Like, I know, because I go to parties and I have a pretty high standard that I set for myself when it comes to my lifestyle and the non-negotiables that I live by. But it's really hard to go out in society and be around people when most people don't live at that standard, when most people don't have the same identity as you, right? So I feel you. Like if it's the peer pressure, I feel you. And here's the thing though, like what I learned, and it took me many years to get here, is that wellness is a mindset first. So it's not about the habit that you choose or the goal that you set. It's about your mindset first. And that is kind of what started me on my journey to creating sustainable lifestyle goals that actually stuck, right? The number one, I think, thing that has to happen first on the success cycle when you think about especially healthy habits, right, is your belief. Most people don't even believe that being healthy or having energy or living in a healthy body is even possible for them. And so that's really where this success cycle starts. And I don't know if you've seen this before, but this I learned from Tony Robbins, and it honestly has been such a game changer for not just my health goals, but any goal that I have set in my life, right? If you've been following me for a while now, you know, I'm a doctor. I worked in hospice and palliative care, end of life care for 10 years in the hospital system. And in July, I actually decided to leave clinical medicine and go into the world of entrepreneurship. I'm also a lifestyle medicine doctor and a health and wellness coach, and started my own business. And that took a lot of courage and a lot of guts. And guess what? Like, courage doesn't mean you're not scared. Courage means you're scared and you do it anyways. And that's because your belief in yourself is so high that you know this is going to work out. Maybe not tomorrow you won't see the results you want, or next week or the week after, but you keep showing up consistently enough and have that conviction and belief in yourself, that certainty that yes, I can do this and this is for me. Eventually it's going to happen. You know why? Because if you believe in yourself with every fiber of your being, are you going to tap into your highest potential or crappy potential? Which one? Right? If you're here with me, let me know. You're going to tap into your highest potential. And if you tap into your highest potential, everything that you know, all your skills, all your energy, your highest effort, what kind of action are you going to take? Is that going to be good quality action, or is that going to be crappy action? It's going to be good quality action. So think about any time in your life where you've been successful with something, and everyone watching here has been successful with something, whether it's been a health goal or a parenting or a job that you wanted or a test or anything, right? It all starts with that belief. You believe in yourself, you tap into your highest potential. You tap into your highest potential and you're going to take good quality action. And guess what, my friends? You take good quality action and you're going to get results. And those results may not come tomorrow or next week, but you keep on that cycle and they will come. They will come. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not the results you're after, right? It's not the bathing suit that you're going to fit into this summer. It's not getting your children to just quickly grow older and be adults. It's not the accolades that you're going to get at work. The whole point of this success cycle, no matter which aspect of your life it's for, it's about the person you become in the process of this. It's about the feeling that you get, right? It's the feeling of not how do I look in this bikini, but like, how do I'm waking up every day with so much energy. Like, it feels so amazing to be alive. Like I'm not reliant on caffeine and coffee and stimulants to give me this high. I'm high on life. Like, that's because I have a healthy body, a healthy physical state, right? And so I'm feeling good. When you get the accolades at work, it's not about the title, because the next day the title is going to get old. It's going to be about how hard you worked in the process and who you became, right? So that's really what our goals are all about. And I think it's important when you bring that back to like the January resolutions, right? Like we all set these crazy resolutions, and I think it's important to bring it back to that, because we need to understand why we're doing something, right? Thank you guys for the love. I appreciate you. I mean, this is so much more fun if you're interacting. So show me, like, tell me what you think about all of this, right? Hi, Sami. Hi, Bonnie. Tharuna, nice to see you guys. Well said. We'll try to keep at it. Definitely keep at it. You will look much better than me. It's not about me versus you or you versus me, my friend. It's just about whether we are 1% better than who we were yesterday, right? And I've learned on this journey, trust me, I don't know if you've been following me for a while, but this journey has taught me so much already, right? I have a BRCA1 genetic mutation. I was told when I was 26 that I'm at very, very high risk of getting breast and ovarian cancer. I come from a very strong family history of cancer. And along this journey, I chose to have preventative surgeries, right? And so I had a bilateral mastectomy. I decided to go flat. I don't have breasts. I don't have ovaries. I can't have any more kids. I was blessed with 2 beautiful ones, but I can't have kids anymore. And I can tell you that despite not looking like what society tells us women need to look like to be beautiful, I feel like I am the most beautiful version of myself that I have ever known. Like, this whole experience has allowed me to redefine what beauty is, what strength is, what resilience is, right? And so it's not, I don't know if you were talking about looks as in physical, but like this whole experience of life is so much more than what we look like on the outside. And that's part of the problem. We care so much about what other people think and how they're going to judge us or whatever, that we shrink and we don't stay committed to ourselves and our goals, right? So anyways, Tharuna, well said, dear. Thank you. So yeah, I think, for me, just tying it back to that mutation, like when I was told about this mutation, and, like Tharuna will be able to resonate. My mom's here. She'll be able to resonate. Like when you're given a life-changing diagnosis or a life-changing moment that happens, or when you've experienced enough pain, you're like, that's it, no more, cutting off from, you will find such a deep why, and that why will become your anchor that will keep you going. Because guess what? Motivation comes and goes. Motivation depends on what's going on in our life. Like, if you haven't slept for a few days because your son is sick, like mine was this week, sleep's going to be bad, motivation's going to be low. So, motivation comes and goes. You can't rely on motivation to keep you moving forward towards the goals and the person that you want to become. It's your why. That is your solid foundation, your anchor that you come back to when the motivation dips, right? So you really need to think, like you need to stop and really reflect on, like, okay, why am I doing this? And how do I want to feel at the end of this? And, is it energy? Do I want to have more energy? Do I want to be able to move more easily? Do I want to, keep my body healthy so that when I have grandkids, I'm able to play on the ground with them? Like, that is powerful stuff, right? Like thinking about this as an investment, thinking about it as like, this is why I'm doing it, and I'm going to show up consistently every day. And consistently doesn't mean perfectly, right? We want to take imperfectly perfect action. So I always say this: don't let your progress be the enemy of, don't let perfection be the enemy of your progress. Okay. So that's like really important. If you anchor down a really solid why you want something, especially for your health, if you anchor it to a future vision of what you want your life to be like as you age, that it becomes even more powerful. Like for me, my non-negotiable, my standard for like the way I live my life and the way I eat, the way I move, the way I manage my mindset is because I want to do everything possible in my control to be here for as long as possible with my kids. And there's nothing more to that. So that is my why. Like it is so powerful. And anytime I don't feel like doing something, I harness that and it brings me to do whatever it is that I was trying to do, right? So really think about your why first. That's the biggest thing. Why else do people fail? So setting unrealistic goals. Oh my God, that is probably the biggest one. It's like, I don't exercise at all on December 31st. I haven't for 3 months, but starting January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym every single day for 30 minutes a day. Realistic or not? Radical change never works. Radical change never works. Okay. So we really want, like I said, focus on consistency, but also focus on the small steps. Like what are the little things, the micro goals that you can add into your life that if you did consistently would completely change your quality of life, your health trajectory. Right? So it's about the little things, and that's where habit stacking comes in, right? So it's much better to set SMART goals. If you're familiar with that framework, it's called SMART, SMART, right? Specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So if you look that up, it's called the SMART framework. And it's a great way to set goals. And then if you incorporate that with habit stacking, then it's even more powerful that it's going to, go from becoming a goal to an actual habit. Habit stacking is nothing but think about something that you do every day already. So for example, you brush your teeth every day, right? So imagine you want to now have a gratitude practice, okay? So if you want to have a gratitude practice, the best way to do it is to stick it with something that you're already doing every single day in your life. Not something you do sometimes, but something you do every single day. So if you were brushing your teeth every day, then you keep your gratitude journal right next to the counter where you brush your teeth. And right after you're done brushing your teeth, you write down 3 things you're grateful for. And you do that every day. You do that every day until it becomes second nature, until it becomes a habit. So that's called habit stacking. And it's so powerful, especially for micro goals, like little goals that you're trying to set for your lifestyle. That's how I got walking. Literally in the past 4 months, like I've been wanting to do a daily walk for so long, and I just couldn't get myself to do it because I was trying to do it in the middle of the day. But then in September, I said, okay, my kids, their bus comes at 7:50 in the morning. I'm going to drop them off at the bus stop, and right from there, I'm going to go for my walk. And guess what? I have gone for a walk almost every single day, Monday to Friday, since September, since August, since the kids started school. And that's the power of habit stacking, right? So you want to keep our goals like exciting, but also achievable, because when we achieve our goals, then what do? We empower ourselves even more. We that belief gets stronger. We tap into that higher potential. We continue to take good quality action, right? The success cycle, it goes round and round and round with every new goal and every new habit. Who else do we have? Guys, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for always motivating so many of us. Oh, I love you. Love what you're saying. It's the other way. I had been to the gym last year, and starting the 3rd day of this year, lost that motivation, but now I'm getting back after listening to you. I mean, I'm sending you so much love, right? It's not easy. It's like I said, our world right now is designed in a way that it makes it much easier to be unhealthy than it does to be healthy. So it's not your fault. So don't think that, it's a me problem. It's not. It's really hard. So that's why, like, start with little goals, habit stack. It's much better to say, I'm going to go to the gym, one day a week and do that, for several weeks in a row before then you add more to that. So that once you feel how good you're feeling, you're going to get the momentum, and then you're automatically going to want to go more because your body's like, I need more of this. It's like a drug, right? Just like the alcohol and the sugar. Exercise is a drug. Eating healthy is a drug. Your body will want more of what you feed it. If you feed it alcohol and sugar, it's going to crave more of it. If you feed it, positivity and beautiful people and good food, it's going to crave more of it, right? So that's important. And then strategy. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about because I have my free challenge coming up and I think it's going to be amazing. Did you know that when it comes to coaching, because I did coaching, one-on-one coaching, health coaching for about 18 months. And the statistic is that almost 90% of the success that people get from coaching is because of the accountability. So most of us will do more for others than we will ever do for ourselves, right? And that includes a coach or a walking group or a support group, community. When we keep ourselves accountable to somebody else, we are more likely to do it, especially if that person is outside our home, right? We're more likely to be accountable to a coach or to a group of people than we are to our spouse or to our children, because we know that, they're not going to judge us. They're going to love us anyways, right? So accountability is key. That is the whole secret sauce behind coaching. And so that's why I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to do a challenge. And I wanted to do a New Year's challenge. I wanted to do this forever. It's a big undertaking. But I said, okay, I was going to do it in January. And then I said, no, let me do it in February, because in January, the momentum's up here. People are excited. People set these radical goals. And then by the end of January, 80% of those goals have dropped off, right? So by February, most people are kind of back to their old routine, believing that, being healthy is not for me. I've tried everything. This isn't going to work. Okay. So that's why I said, okay, let me put together this challenge. And so let me tell you about the challenge, and then let me tell you how it's going to work. So the challenge itself is free. And what that means is for 30 days, and since February is a short day, I actually added 2 days in March. So for 30 days, we are going to have a health challenge for the new year to gain momentum for the rest of the year. Okay. And what this challenge is going to include is a lot of really fun stuff. So one, you get to hang out with me. So that's going to be fun. But number two, I actually created a almost 50-page ebook. I don't know if you can see it. But this whole ebook, it talks about a lot of the things that we just talked about. It talks about mindset. It talks about habit stacking. It talks about metabolic health. Most people in my age, in this season of life, between 30 and 50, busy parents, working 2 jobs, aging, taking care of aging parents, it's just a really busy time. This is when our metabolic health starts to go downhill. And when our metabolic health starts to go downhill, we increase our risk of all sorts of chronic diseases down the road. So what is our well, let me not go down this road, because if I start talking about this, then it's not gonna stop. So the ebook is almost 50 pages. I created it with all sorts of information about metabolic health, silent killers, insulin resistance. What are the things that are in our control to become more insulin sensitive, take control of our metabolic health? Like I said, our mindset, habit stacking. There's like worksheets in there to help you really anchor your why, all the things that I was talking about just now. Okay, so all of that is in there. So it's a 50-page ebook. We're going to have a challenge calendar every day. So for 30 days, I created 30 ideas of a micro habit that if you applied every day for a short while could honestly change your life. So every day, we're all going to do this one habit. Okay, we're going to keep each other accountable. So this 30 micro habits, of which if any of those you actually practice consistently, could probably change your life. I promise. Right? Number 3, and this is the most important part of the challenge, is the accountability and the support. Okay, so I have a private Facebook group and a private WhatsApp group, and you will get to join both of those groups. In those groups, we're going to be keeping each other accountable. We're going to share our goals, share our wins. We're going to celebrate each other. In there, I will share the resources. We're going to share empowering questions for you to really think about, why you're doing what you're doing. What's it making you feel? And this is going to harness that motivation. It's going to harness that belief, that potential, and make you take that action. And then also we have, I'm going to share lots of free plant-based recipes. So if you follow me, I love to cook. It's one of the greatest tools I think I can share with you, because it's the one thing that changed my life. And our diet is the number one suboptimal risk factor that is driving the chronic disease epidemic. So if we can just fix our diet, eat more whole foods, eat more fiber-rich foods, get rid of the sugar like Charlotte was talking about, get rid of the processed foods, right? Or at least limit them, we can take back so much of our health and so much of our energy and how we're feeling on a daily basis. Charlotte, gotta go. I will look forward to the ebook and the challenge. Send me a message, say challenge, and I will send you all the details. Thanks for joining and thanks for chatting with me. Aaliyah, Smell, I have a question for you. Can I get lymphedema in an arm that no lymph nodes were removed from? Of course, as always, this is, there's no medical advice that I can ever share here, right? I'm not your doctor. I don't know your medical history. There are different conditions. I actually learned about one of them from a good friend of mine who specializes in something called lipedema, which is different than lymphedema. And so maybe you should look into that. Maybe look into whether that could be what's going on. But yeah, there are a lot of conditions where you can develop swelling in the arms, especially even if you didn't have lymph nodes or cancer. There are a lot of different things that could be happening. So I would look into that and see. Yeah, so the ebook is really going to be awesome. The private Facebook group, private WhatsApp group, challenge calendar, and then we're going to have weekly bonus sessions. So once a week, I'm going to go live and we're going to go through the ebook together. So we'll talk about all of these different topics that I just mentioned. So, and then we'll take questions. So if you have questions, you submit them throughout the week, and we'll probably go live the first week on Sunday night to kind of get the momentum going and talk about everything. And then following weeks, I think we'll probably go live on Mondays. Okay. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And then this is the part that I want to tell you guys about. Everybody in the challenge is going to be on something called the Feel Great system. This is my absolute favorite system, what my husband and I used 10 years ago, okay, to optimize our metabolic health. 10 years ago, my husband was 36. He had quite a belly, a lot of bad fat around his belly. We found out he had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and he was pre-diabetic. He had gained 24 pounds in residency, and I had gained about 12 to 15 pounds. We did this 90-day program with, actually at the time, it was only this one product, the original Feel Great system. And at the end of the 90 days, in combination with fasting, intermittent fasting, he had lost over 20 pounds. He reversed his high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and prediabetes. And I had lost over 12 pounds and multiple inches off my waist. And this system gave us the momentum we needed to then go and start to make better health choices and create the lifestyle habits and create the lifestyle that we have today. 10 years later, I went plant-based after I did this system for 90 days. And so my point is, sometimes we just need a reset. Sometimes we just need momentum to get us out from where we are, to give us a little bit of a kickstart, right? Because sometimes the lifestyle habits can take time to really give us the results that we're looking for, and you can get a little bit down in that time. And so, using strategic supplementation, strategic nutraceuticals to give you that momentum, to give you the results, you'll automatically just start making healthier choices. It won't have to be a goal anymore, because once you start feeling better, like I said, your body's going to start craving this food. So Let's see. Aaliyah, that's exciting. Thank you. I'll look into this. Your skin is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I actually had a rejuvenation day today, so I appreciate you. Um, Mini Malhotra, it's all natural plant based. She doesn't use any makeup. Okay, thanks, mom. Whenever I visit her, my skin starts glowing. Okay. All right. So let me show you a little bit about this system. I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about the system. When it comes to the challenge, everything is free. The 50-page ebook is free. The calendar is free. Joining my private groups is free. You're going to get weekly coaching for free. All of that's free. But what you have to buy is your kit of the Feel Great system. Now, it comes down to literally trading in your Starbucks Grande for 3 drinks a day, really. So it's $5 a day. That's it, right? So let me show you a little bit more of the science behind it, and then we'll go from there. And if you guys have any questions, then you can drop them in the chat. And if you're interested in joining the challenge, or you know someone that's interested in joining the challenge, DM me challenge, and I'll send you all the details, including the discount to get these products. Okay. So let's check this out. So like I said, my husband and I did the original system 10 years ago. Okay, guys, that's how you know this is solid. Like, this has been around for so long, and it just works. It works in more ways than I can tell you to address really the major issues that we have in society today, which is our metabolic health, our gut health, and our mental health. And this system, because it really addresses the root cause along with fasting, it helps all 3 of those dynamics. So 2 products and 1 practice. 2 products, 2 plant-based products, and 1 practice being time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting, whatever you want to call it. It's going to give you the momentum fuel that you need. Okay, so we'll look at each of the products. How does this work? So essentially what we're going to do is, because we're using fasting, it's going to allow our body to use our own fat for fuel. And what's going to make fasting easy is product number 1, which is a yerba mate extract. I'm going to go more into detail, but basically we drink this in the morning instead of our coffee or whatever we drink in the morning, and it helps our body burn fat more efficiently. It makes that the craving, the food noise, all of that go away. It's phenomenal in the way that it works. So we're going to take that in the morning, and we're going to fast, and then we're going to take it again either in the afternoon, either before our lunch or after our lunch. And it's going to prevent us from that mid-afternoon crash. It's going to prevent us from snacking, needing that coffee, whatever it is that we rely on that mid-afternoon. And then in the evening, what we're going to do is we're going to take this supplement, which is a fiber matrix with multivitamin blend. So, this has vitamin B12, all the B vitamins. I really use this as my multivitamin. So what that's going to do is help slow down the carb digestion with our dinner. It's going to prevent that sugar crash. It's going to keep us full. It's going to help us really optimize our blood sugar and our cholesterol. Okay, so let's go into the details a little bit here. Taruna said, I'm going to join the March round. Okay, I'm only doing the challenge in February. However, if you want to do the system, you can start the system anytime. So you can just send me a message and I will give you the discount code for it. So that's not a problem at all. So how does, let me see if I have my other slides actually. It does. I don't have my other slides. Okay. So how are the 3 ways that Unimate works? Okay. So the way that this company makes it, and I, like, as a physician and also just as a very conscious consumer, because I have this genetic mutation, I am very careful with the products and the supplements that I buy. That is one place where I like to spend my money, because so much of the products that we consume today are contaminated with heavy metals, contaminated with pesticides, contaminated with so many things. So while I don't, think that this is necessarily for everybody, if it's accessible to you, it's something that I would recommend, because it really works amazing. So the way that it works, it's It is a purified and concentrated yerba mate extract. That's the way that the company makes it. It's actually got a patent on it, which is like amazing because it tells you how of a high quality it is. But it does three things really. Number one, it makes fasting really easy, right? And the way it does that, it naturally supports our body's GLP-1 hormone. So if you've heard about Ozempic, you've heard about all the craze of these medications, right? Of weight loss medications. And what Ozempic does is it raises your body's GLP-1 hormone really, really high. And that's why people end up with really intense side effects, really, really bad side effects. But what this does is it naturally supports your body's own GLP-1 production. And so what that does is it helps that food noise goes away, those cravings go away, and it helps to make fasting really easy. I think so. Intermittent fasting, everyone knows that there's a lot of benefits to it. There is a lot of research and science to support it. But it's hard for a lot of people. And so that's where this product, it just makes fasting easy. And so fasting, right? So that's one. The other thing is that, if you're someone that drinks green tea or likes coffee, there are a lot of antioxidants and polyphenols and a lot of feel good, adaptogens that are in those sorts of in coffee and in chocolate, and mainly something called chlorogenic acid, which is also great for metabolic health, and then something called theobromine found in dark chocolate. And these are adaptogens as well, and so they make you feel really good. They help give you mental clarity, get rid of that brain fog, and just give you a pep in your step. And so the way that the company has created this yerba mate extract is it's actually concentrated. So you get 10 times the amount of benefits of chlorogenic acid and theobromine than you would in a cup of coffee or in dark chocolate. So it's just a great product. So it helps with your metabolic health, helps you, burn fat for fuel, helps you enhance your metabolic flexibility. It helps you maintain your weight in that sense, or lose weight if you're trying to lose weight. And then it like that those feel good hormones, the adaptogens are there as well. So that's awesome. So then that brings us to balance, and the way that balance works. So balance is a fiber matrix with a multivitamin. It's been around for over 30 years. So my husband and I used this originally 10 years ago. It has since then been formulated to a more natural formulation. So they took out all artificial sweeteners, everything, and now has stevia, and otherwise is just a beautiful formulation with 7 different types of soluble and insoluble fibers, and then a multivitamin blend. So like I said, we use it as our multivitamin, and we take it before our biggest meal of the day. And what it helps our body do is, it creates a thick gel in our stomach. And so it coats our food and slows down the absorption and digestion of that food. And that's really important, especially later in the day, because if we eat the same food at night compared to the morning, our metabolism is much slower at night. And so it's more likely to be converted to be stored as fat later in the day. And, if you look at the statistic, most Americans, they eat 50% of their calories after 4 p.m. So most of us are eating a really big meal for dinner. And then also we're doing late night snacking. And that's really what messes up our metabolic health, increases our risk of gaining weight around that midsection, especially as we get into this 30 to 50 age range, especially for women who are perimenopausal. And then eating right before you're sleeping really affects your sleep quality as well. And if you're not sleeping well, then that also increases your risk of obesity and metabolic syndrome and all the things. So everything is connected, right? Everything is connected. Thanks for coming through, and I appreciate you. Everything is connected. So anyway, so we take this before our biggest meal of the day. It slows down the carb digestion and absorption of carbs, but also cholesterol. And so it helps to maintain both of those things in that way. And then because you're taking like a big bolus of fiber right before your meal, it keeps you full, right? So you're not overeating, and then you're not doing that late night snacking, which a lot of people do. So that is it. That's the system that we're all going to be on during the challenge. And the reason I thought that we should do this together is because whenever someone does something new, even though this system is so easy to do. Like Frank and I were doing it while I was in residency, and he had just started working as a doctor as well. And so we had like 80, 90 hour weeks. Like we were really busy, but the system was so easy to just pop into our lives. And so now when I'm working with clients, it's usually where I direct them to go, because I call it momentum fuel, right? So then you don't have to rely entirely on willpower or rely entirely on your motivation. Like you have something that you're, habit stacking, adding right into your life. One right before dinner, you eat dinner every day, and one first thing in the morning and in the afternoon. It's very easy, and it gives people results like I've never seen before for metabolic health and to support gut health, right? And obviously, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing a nutraceutical that I honestly really love. And now we're going to use it in the challenge. And so this is what you need to purchase. If you want to join the challenge, everything I mentioned earlier, the ebook, the calendar, the private Facebook group, the weekly coaching, all of that is going to be free. I'm not charging anyone to join my challenge, at least this time. But you have to buy your own kit because I can't supply those. So if you are interested, just send me a message, comment challenge on this live, and or DM me challenge, and I will send you the details. I do have a discount affiliate link, which will get you over 25% off the kit. But like I said, it comes down to $5 a day, which I think is accessible for most people, especially if you consider, a lot of my clients will tell me, I've stopped drinking multiple coffees a day. I've stopped snacking all throughout the day. And then, of course, there is no cost that you can put on the health benefits that you're getting from this. So the downstream cost savings, right? When you start investing in your health, I can promise you, as a palliative care doctor who, took care of people dying from mostly preventable diseases for 10 years, there is no greater investment you can make than the investment in your health. Like your body, this body is the primary vehicle to every single thing that you want in this life. And so invest in, the nutraceuticals, invest in coaching, invest in a good pair of running shoes, invest in, good quality food. Like these are all things that are going to pay dividends down the road. The greatest investment that you can make. So I don't have much else to add. I hope that my mom, my mom's story is actually what is what made me say like, okay, I want to use this system in my coaching practice, because my husband and I had done it so long ago, I completely forgot. And so I, made all these lifestyle changes, and, obviously the more you stack all these things, the better results you're going to get, the better you're going to feel. But, for a while there, I just completely disregarded the fact that we had done this. Like, it was just like, wait a second, I didn't start with the new plant-based diet. I didn't start with exercise. I didn't start with all of this. Like I started with this system 10 years ago. Like that was our kickstart. And that's kind of what really brought me back to that, was when I saw my mom in January of 2023 at my father-in-law's funeral, and she had gained so much weight. COVID was really rough, obviously, for most of us. And, she lost her mom, she lost her dad over a span of a few years, and she broke her foot. Like it was just one thing after the next. And when I saw her at my father-in-law's funeral, she had gained so much weight. And so we brought it, the system came up. I was like, okay, just go back. Like she was already plant-based at this point. So put her back on the system, and she lost 45 pounds in 8 months and a lot of fat off of her waist. She literally went from like a dress size 12 to a dress size 6. It was mind blowing. And now I have just had so many more stories like this, one after the next with so many of my clients, that I'm like, okay, with this system, I can actually make a bigger impact. I can help more people. And so I've become very passionate about sharing it, because it's just so amazing to see people, like one of my clients said, like, I feel alive again. So to be a doctor who took care of people at the end of life, to now being in a position where, I'm able to breathe life back into people. Like there is nothing more beautiful than that. And I'm so grateful, so grateful to be in a place like this. So I don't have anything more to say. So if you are interested in the challenge, you want to join our group, we would love to have you. So either DM challenge in the comments or send me a message. Challenge. You're going to need to order your kit here in the next couple of days because we're starting February the 1st. And like I said, with my affiliate link, you can get 25% off. So let me know. We would love to have you. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.